another episode of Lift, Lighten, and Lead with Legacy Contracts. Whether this is your first time listening or you're returning for more, we're very glad you're here. This is a space for attorneys who want more than just efficiency. You want clarity, purpose, and lasting impact in the way that you practice law, serve your clients, and lead your firm. Our mission for this platform is simple: to lift the burden, lighten the load, and help you lead with clarity. Through practical insights, thoughtful guidance, and honest conversations, we explore what it truly takes to build not just a better firm, but a better way to work. So if that's the kind of growth that you're after, you're in the right place. So today's topic is from our blog titled The Hidden Cost of Quick Fix Operations: Why Your Law Firm Needs a Real Framework and Not More Band-Aids. We'll start this discussion by looking at the illusions of quick fixes and why they may feel more productive. Being productive can make the days move pretty quickly, and a lot of times, in order to match that speed, we tend to gravitate towards the things that get us those easy solutions, the quick fixes. And for the most part, these are fine, especially if you don't have like the bandwidth to delegate, or if you're on a time crunch, or you are just trying to get out for work at the end of the day and you just want a simple quick fix, you can go home. All that makes sense. However, if you don't pick back up on those quick fixes and make sure that you reroute them when your time does free up, they end up creating more chaos and putting yourself in more cycles than actually going back and fixing them and rooting your solutions in lasting change. So as an example, some quick fixes may be sending potential new clients that come into your firm, just sending them like your questionnaire, your intake form, without like properly vetting them and making sure that you can actually handle their issues or their problems or being able to just refer them out. Using multiple platforms, I know a couple different small attorneys that have like 15 different platforms and websites that they utilize for like one specific thing. They'll have like Asana for task management, and then they'll go to like QuickBooks and then have their invoices, and then they'll go to a whole other one to utilize client intake. And it's like, you don't need all of those platforms. So you can really just take all of those things that you want to do and utilize maybe one or two, depending on what your volume is. So that may be something that can be changed or thought about. And the last quick fix is maybe pulling all-nighters, trying to make sure all of your deadlines are handled, or just trying to get as much work you can do to soften the blow for the next day. But creating that sense of like urgency and constantly having to stay late or work on the weekends or come in very early. All of these things essentially are somewhat quick fixes that have root issues that can be rearranged to allow your firm to operate at a different pace than you are currently. And while they may seem more productive in the moment, after constantly repeating them and putting yourself through the same cycles over and over again, it tends to create a sense of chaos, leaving you, and if you have support staff and even your clients, completely burnt out and depleted at the end of the day, and cost your firm in the long run. Ignoring the illusion that the quick fixes tend to give puts you through, or can potentially put you through, these cycling patterns. And you can look up one day and you have a bunch of overdue invoices and your clients are not having good experiences, and you have a revolving door of staff where people are leaving sooner, they're burnt out too quickly, or they may be just worn out, which is fair. But it's looking at the root cause of these things that are constantly happening. That's a pure sign for you that these illusions are really starting to affect your law firm. But with that, the real challenge then comes first from acknowledging the illusion and seeing it for what it is. And then from that point, being able to put all your energy into focusing on creating a stronger foundation for your law firm to stand on. Being able to do that would require shifting your framework, going from illusion to whatever that version of a calm, peaceful, organized law firm, whatever that looks like for you. And that is not an easy task, but it is rewarding all in the same, because it means that you will have fewer fires to put out, smoother staff coordination, predictable case flow, more revenue, clear client expectations, and so on and so forth. To begin doing this, we have 3 action steps for you that will also be included in the show notes, but the purpose of this and the intentions are to help you to start this journey in creating your law firm framework and being able to give you a place to stand on if you don't know what you want and how to go about that. The first action step is identify your top 3 recurring fires. What are the main pain points that your law firm has been cycling in, whether that's you're missing a lot of deadlines, or you're overlooking invoices that may be way overdue, or just you may not have any workflows, or even like your intake process may be all over the place. Just identifying those 3 recurring fires. The next step after that would be to document the steps that would take to actually resolve them from the root cause, and making sure that they benefit your firm in the long run. They provide everybody with clarity moving forward, and they get you to the end destination of wherever it is that you want to go. The third step would be creating one workflow standard per week. So you don't have to do it all at once, but starting with one workflow that kind of tackles different issues. So you could start with your intake workflow. You could start with your client invoicing workflow. You could start with your documentation workflow. Depending on what kind of law firm that you have would depend on the flow of, your workflows. Like a personal injury law firm is going to have a much different workflow process than criminal law. So just starting with one workflow and being able to create better processes, more clarity, and just having everybody be on the same page. And the last action step is looking at how you can protect your time by removing repetitive decisions. If there's anything that either you can outsource that comes up frequently, or if there's anything where you can say, okay, this is something that I always have to do when this happens. So we're either going to move this to somebody else who can handle this, or we're going to take care of this up front and just make sure that it may look the same every single time. So we're not going to have to pour our energy into it, but we can look at how to outsource it, delegate it, or put it in some kind of framework where we don't have to recreate it every single time. Like the intros that I have for this podcast is the same thing every single time. So I don't have to constantly reword it or record it. I just have to record it one time, copy and paste it, and move on. And that saves a good portion of every single time I do this podcast. So however that looks like in your law firm, being able to do the same thing. So the initial bottom line is pretty much that quick fixes may relieve pressure in the moment, but real systems completely eliminate it. So that is all for today's podcast. If today's concept resonated with you, you can read our full blog on our website, or you can listen to the AI voiceover audio version on our YouTube channel. But here on this podcast, we'll delve deeper, exploring the concepts, culture, and practices that help you build clarity through calm. We hope today's insights help you practice with more calm, clarity, and confidence. Remember, law firms are not built overnight. They're built every day that you choose to grow. This is Legacy Contracts, and until next time, keep leading with clarity.